There's a lot of need in our community. We all see it, and women and children have been the fastest growing segment of the homeless population nationally and locally over the last 10 years. And so Seattle's Union Gospel Mission, of course, is responding, trying to increase capacity in emergency shelter and transitional housing for women and families.
In the very beginning, we were having conversations with David Fairchild, and it was a question of how to get the church more involved with the community. So transitional housing became a conversation early on.
We sat down and talked about it, and it came up as an idea that we would pursue getting a piece of property, building a space that's there.
Could we possibly marry that, where if we had somebody coming into transitional housing, we would take the community groups and just love on those people, provide resources, and be in deep relationship with them as they continue to transition into a healthier life.
One of the elders of our church, as well as a member of our church, that in this meeting that we had, and as we're talking about, it came up that this could be a possibility. And so that one particular person who was able said, you know, I could get a piece of property and we could build this.
That idea resonated with everybody, and Dan said, yeah, I think we can do that. And we were looking at him like, what does that mean you can do that? You know, it's like, we don't have this pile of money to, you know, just start building more buildings. And he says, no, I have an idea that maybe we could make this happen.
I finance a lot of builders in the city of Seattle who have done well over the past couple of years and have talked about giving back. And so there was a lot of guys that wanted to donate time and energy into a project like this.
Over the years, we've tried to collaborate and find something where we could take a project from start to finish and hand it over.
I went to a meeting where we were discussing this, and I mentioned to Dan that I happened to have a whole bunch of leftover cabinets from a project that had gone defunct. And maybe we could make those cabinets work in this project. And that's what ended up happening.
It went from being a concept to being the beginnings of the reality of a space that really could be a blessing to our city. Novo is actually a Latin word that means renew, and it's fitting because God's kingdom, as it continues to flow through every artery of our city, as Christ lives his life through his people, all of creation is being renewed by the power of God's rulership and reign.
There are 14 units altogether. There's common living space on the ground floor, and then a laundry room or washer and dryer on each floor. And each unit has a little refrigerator and a sink and shower, toilet, so they have everything they need up, you know, in their upstairs unit, and then some community space downstairs along with the kitchen and dining room, living room. It is expensive to live in Seattle, but a lot of the jobs are in Seattle. Microhousing is a great resource for people that we serve at the mission. And when you have a single mom, a single woman, they've left a domestic violence situation, their financial support has changed drastically, they've got to find a way to support themselves and their family, they need affordable housing close to the jobs.
My name's Crystal. I was born in Everett, Washington. Over the last about 7 years, I had some losses in my life. My grandmother and my father passed away, and I got divorced. So during that time, I went through some struggles, and I ended up living at Hope Place, which is part of the Union Gospel Mission, and started to put my life back together. So the mission helped me with that, with taking classes and counseling. Then once I graduated from their Oaks program, I was looking at many transitional housing.
They all come from Hope Place. They have completed a one-year discipleship program So they're really ready for the next steps to get prepared to go back out and get a job or go to school.
Really liked about it more so than any other transitional housing was that it had a church that was connected, because I knew that leaving Hope Place I would probably have a little bit of struggle being connected.
That support is really what helps people in the long run. So the connection to the church is amazing.
And at that point, this type of housing provides an environment that's safe, that's secure, and actually gives them a chance, a fighting chance to succeed and to be able to stay firm on their recovery.
More than anything, we are coming to understand more and more the significance of the church being responsible for caring for the needs of our part of the world.
I believe that the church is God's instrument that He uses on earth to carry out His will. And it's just a demonstration of God's love, Christ's love, when we help the poor. I mean, it's just something we're supposed to do.
It's amazing how God works through people to give gifts to others.